Welcome, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this video, we're considering the spiritual gems comments for the week of September 22nd to 28th, 2025. So friends, we welcome you. Now, let's jump right in. So, we're starting the reading of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 2. And the first question comes from chapter 1, verse 1. Let's read it. The words of the Congregator, the son of David, the king of Jerusalem. So describes Solomon's role as a congregator. And this word congregator is very significant because that was the primary function of his reign, to convene or gather the people of Israel for the true worship of Jehovah. The most important event that demonstrates this was when he gathered the entire nation in Jerusalem to dedicate the temple he had built. His role as king was not only political, but primarily spiritual, to keep the people united in faithfulness to Jehovah. There is a good lesson we learn from this one, and just as the Congregator did, we can use our authority or influence to be a good on others. If someone is a family head, he could gather his family to worship family or go to the preaching work or meetings. Now the next one, what spiritual gems from this week's Bible reading would you like to share? And let's start with number 1. And this is 1:3. We read, "What does a person gain from all his hard work at which he toils under the sun?" And this verse teaches us that work for its own sake is tiresome. But when we work as for Jehovah and not for man, every task, no matter how small, gains a purpose. And this motivates us to do our best in our secular work and in our assignments in the congregation. Number 2, 1:4 we read, "A generation is going and a generation is coming, but the earth remains forever." This teaches us that our time is limited, but our impact can be lasting, and this motivates us to live in such a way that our generation will be remembered for its love, faith, and positive contributions to the congregation, the world, and the generation that follows, like a spiritual legacy. Number 3, 1:5, "The sun rises and the sun sets. Then it hurries back to the place where it rises again." And this verse teaches us that just as the sun is faithful in its cycle, Jehovah is faithful in his care for us. Each new day, we can find motivation and peace in the reliable and constant presence of God in our lives. Number 4, 1:7, "All the streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is not full to the place from which the streams flow. There they return so as to flow again." This verse teaches us that the world can never fill the void in our heart. Only Jehovah God, the source of living water, can quench our eternal thirst. And this motivates us to continue feeding spiritually from Jehovah's table. Number 5, Ecclesiastes 1:13, we read, "I set my heart to study and explore with wisdom everything that has been done under the heavens, the miserable occupation that God has given to the sons of man that keeps them occupied." This teaches us that King Solomon, the wisest man, sought knowledge everywhere and said everything was vanity. The ultimate lesson in that true wisdom begins with the fear of God, and this motivates us to never stop learning from His Word. Number 6, 1:15, we learn that there are things in life that we won't be able to understand or fix. That's why we read, what is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot possibly be counted. So, instead of getting frustrated, we rest in the fact that Jehovah is our Father. He sees the big picture and works all things for the good of those who love Him. Number 7, 1:16. Then I said in my heart, look, I have acquired great wisdom, more than anyone who was before me in Jerusalem, and my heart gained a great deal of wisdom and knowledge. This verse teaches us that knowledge without humility only leads to arrogance and emptiness. The wisdom that God gives us is modest, kind, and willing to learn, and this motivates us to cultivate a humble heart which is of great value in God's eyes. Number 8, 1:17. I apply my heart to knowing wisdom and to knowing madness and to knowing fully, and these two is a chasing after the wind. This teaches us that we must take our Bible study seriously, as we have seen in recent experiences in the Watchtower study. Doing so will lead us back to Jehovah. Number 9, 1:18. For an abundance of wisdom brings an abundance of frustration, so that whoever increases knowledge increases pain. We learn that knowledge for the sake of accumulation can be overwhelming, but knowledge applied to love God and our neighbor more brings joy and purpose. So this motivates us to use what we know to do good. Finally, number 10. Now, chapter 2, verse 10, we read, I didn't deny myself anything that I desire. I did not withhold from my heart any sort of pleasure, for my heart was joyful because of all my hard work, and this was my reward for all my hard work. We learn that Solomon found satisfaction in the process of working, not just in the finished palace. This motivates us to find joy in work well done today, in daily learning, and in God's presence in every task, not just in the final result. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining us in this consideration. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we want to say hello to Lindel Wynn, Helen, Benga Falokun, Franz Bonzo, Adri Bell, Eric Stewart, Lisa Jacinta, Aiblosu, Onanya, Janet Perez, Junior Oragon, Someone, Random Person, Agnes Itua, Gerson Ditalo, Gil Rodriguez. So we hope you have a wonderful day, be safe, stay awesome, and hope to see you in our next video. Bye for now.